Welcome back, everybody. Again, Eugene, CBES, Canadian Business and Enterprise Services. We continue our series of informational, educational videos about doing business in Canada, how to do it right. So, one of the first questions I've been asked by many clients or friends of mine is, what's the difference between provincial and federal incorporation? Like, why would these two systems exist? And the answer is, I truly, honestly, don't really know. Like, I'm a lawyer by my education. I looked into the laws, I read the books, I read the guides, and my conclusion is there's no valid reason for those two systems, but each of them could provide some benefits to each of the types of operations that you might think of. I'll talk today shortly about each of them, how to do them right, and again, where to find the solutions. Let's start from provincial. Provincial registration is, as the name is, limited to the province. Does it mean that you cannot do business anywhere else? No. Does it mean that your business would exist only in that province? No. And what is the most interesting thing of that situation is that it's more expensive. It's like almost twice as expensive to do business in province of Ontario than to do it federally. Most sources that you will look for will tell you that provincial registration is better suited for companies that intend to work in one province. And while I can agree with that, I don't really see real benefit over federal, because you still can work in province of Ontario as a federal corporation. Actually, as a step of your federal incorporation, you would be asked to do the provincial registration. So, benefits not so much, differences, I guess there are some. So for provincial corporation, another cumbersome corner of that thing is you don't have a direct access to the register. So there are third parties, authorized companies that provide you online access. You pay them for their services, so that's additional expense that you incur. And they would do it online, fast, as efficient as anyone else, of course, but still, why? No one knows. You can register your company as a numbered company, both provincially and federally, and as a named. And actually, let's leave it for the next video. We'll talk about the difference between numbered and named company and why someone should choose this or other. If you register provincial corporation with a name, theoretically it will provide you protection only in the province of the registration. So if we talk about Ontario corporation seemingly provides protection only for the name in Ontario. My experience shows that if you would like to register corporation federally with the same name as an Ontario corporation, you won't be able to do that. Probably also in the other provinces, I don't know. But again, that's a very limited benefit or drawback. On the opposite side, there's a federal incorporation. Federal incorporation provides you corporation registered federally. Again, the benefit, it's cheaper. I don't know why, but to register a corporation on the federal level costs you $200 as an opposite to $350 provincially. Nuance, which is a name search, would cost you $13 on the federal versus $50 on provincial levels. No explanation. So you can end up with almost twice the difference in the price. Federally registered named corporation does provide you better protection for the name, because then it gets registered technically all over the country, and no one else can register a company in any province under the same name. But again, we'll talk about it later. I don't think it's much of a benefit or drawback. So there's one more difference. With provincial incorporation, once you incorporate it, you submit the initial report where you inform the government of the actual directors and the officers of the corporation. And as you submit your tax reports, your accountant will do the update from now on. Those updates are free. You don't pay government anything to provide the information. With a federal incorporation, you have to provide annual updates on your corporation. You will get an email, if you do it online, that reminds you to provide an update on a corporate status within 60 days after the corporate fiscal year end or the end of the registration year. And you have to do it, and as you do it, you pay $20. So theoretically, within 10 years, your cost of federal corporation will equalize with the cost of provincial. Not so significant though. So I think if you don't have any real justifications, jump into federal. Faster, simpler, cheaper. When you do your tax submissions and reports, when you do your reporting, doesn't place too much of a burden. You still get those reminding emails, so it's not that you can forget about it. And again, with a named corporation, it gives you a protection all over Canada. Now, one more thing. When you work internationally as a exporter or online service provider, introducing your company as numbered Canada Inc. or just showing documents with Canada, not Ontario logos on it, can make a little bit difference because people might not know what Ontario is, might not be too knowledgeable of the provincial versus federal systems in Canada, so when they see Canada, it affects them better. But again, not really significant. So if you would ask me, do federal, don't stop on provincial, cheaper, easier, and looks better. So that's more or less it. Follow us, we'll talk in the next video about the difference between named and numbered company, what protection does it give you, what it doesn't, and we'll move on. We'll move on to more interesting subjects relating to the companies, and then we'll move on to the topics relating to the development of your companies, where to get money, how to get government money, grants, subsidies, support, how to do it right again, how to get yourself prepared to work with governments, banks, larger institutions, many additional subjects that I think are interesting or for sure useful. So subscribe to our channel, leave your comments, like us if you like, and I hope to see you soon back. Don't forget to visit the website cbes.ca. If you need more information, if you want to talk to us, leave us a contact us form and we will get in touch very soon. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.